Yeah. So I got a bigger right one than a left one.
It's like, do you really want to hold your kid with your offhand?
Exactly.
You know, like.
Yeah.
Well, you got to stay balanced, dude. You don't bench press with plus 45 pounds on the right side.
True.
I mean, just carabiner, clip in the belt loop, call it done.
All right, well,
Okay.
we're live.
All roads lead to Maryville.
Iron Palace Podcast. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Iron Palace Podcast, the world's most anabolic podcast with the most controversial episode to hit the internet.
Oh, yeah. Just wait.
Too soon.
Oh, wait, no.
By now.
Just recover.
Yeah.
What?
They're just getting
calm
over
down.
it. Yeah.
Just calm down.
They just stopped shaking enough to click on another episode.
Yeah, and if you don't know what we're talking about, go
back
check
and
it
listen.
out.
Yeah.
Because by the time this one's out, that one has been out.
Yeah.
If you don't know what we're talking about and you like it so far, don't go back. Just keep listening.
We'll give you the footnotes later on. But to get into it, we have a very special guest. So without making him sit too long, we'll jump into the introduction that I knew nothing about before I wrote this, just to preface this.
I mean, I think he feels like his intros have been lacking, and so he's got to preface.
He's trying to sandbag. Yeah. He's like, oh, no, it's nothing really.
And now it's going to be epic. It better be.
You have to say it like Bruce Buffer.
Better be good. I swear to God, I'll boo.
And
All right.
I mean, and this guy's a killer here, so you better watch out.
He did bring a sword.
Yeah.
No one's brought their own sword before. Usually we let them borrow one.
Yeah.
But,
Nah, he has his own.
Oh, yeah.
all right, here we go. Called the Enigma, he not only rules the octagon, but he owns all the backgammon boards this side of the Atlantic. The last thing you want to do is find yourself locked into a staring contest with this man waiting on a bell to ring. When the fight starts, the only two things you are going to see is a Superman punch and the nurse that's in your room waiting for you to wake up. Welcome to the throne room, Elijah Gilbertson.
Yeah, I mean, he is a top-notch backgammon player.
That's what I heard
Yeah.
in my head.
I don't know what that is. I feel like that's something old people do. I don't know. Like Mahjong or something. Old Chinese play.
I've played Mahjong. I have not played backgammon, but I don't know.
I actually do not know the rules to backgammon.
Don't know one of them. I know what the board looks like.
I know my mom likes backgammon or badgammon, whatever it's called. I don't know how to play it
Like
at all.
badminton.
Yeah.
Everybody likes badminton.
I hate badminton.
Or now this new thing, what's it called? Pickleball.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot
Bunch
of
of
good things about
liberal BS, if you
pickleball.
ask me.
It's a bunch of BS. It's people who aren't athletic enough to play tennis and not coordinated enough to ping pong. So they play pickleball.
Actually, I love ping pong. So
I love ping pong too.
I was gonna say I fall in that category, but you named ping pong.
Table tennis is amazing.
My stance on pickleball is almost as ridiculous as people that play pickleball. Like I get irate when I overhear people talking about pickleball. I'm like, what a weird flex. Like, quit talking about
so
pickleball.
easy
Nobody
to be good at
cares.
pickleball. Yeah, like, it's not a flex.
I'm the best one in pickleball at my family. Blah, blah. Whenever I overhear conversations like that, I just get unreasonably irate.
What happened to racquetball?
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
when we
that
were
was-
men.
Ball come flying at you at like 100 miles an hour.
Dude, if Trump was still president, nobody would be talking pickleball right now.
Olympia, they got rid of that.
I don't know that you're wrong.
Yeah.
We'd be talking baseball like men.
Yeah, Olympia, the
Olympia,
racquetball.
yeah,
that used to be so fun.
And they took
I
it
don't
out
know.
and put some gay CrossFit in there.
I'm not allowed to go into Olympia anymore. So, I mean that one gym.
Oh,
Not a sponsor.
Not the purple and yellow one, the doo-doo brown one.
Definitely never be a sponsor.
Definitely not here. Hate that for you.
Sheesh.
Should have been playing ping pong. Definitely wouldn't have tore your Achilles. All right,
Now he's got to lie about how he tore his Achilles the rest of his life.
poor fella.
Yeah.
All right, so our icebreaker for the day. Wait, Dave, did you have another icebreaker?
No, I kind of like the butt one.
I didn't write that one
Oh,
down.
okay.
That didn't come
Would
out.
you? Yeah.
That didn't
Would you
sound
rather be the only person that talked out of your butt, or would you rather be the only one that doesn't talk out of your butt?
what do you mean? Like my
Like
butt
if
talks?
everyone, on Earth,
Like Ace Ventura.
communicated out of their butt, but you, or you were the only one that communicated out of your butt and no one else did.
I'd rather not communicate out of my butt.
I don't know, man. I don't want people like farting at me all the time. I'd rather be the farter, not the fartee, personally.
Wait,
I would assume my butt's got bad breath.
do you understand what they're saying?
Either way, you're kind of
it's effective communication either way.
Well, yeah, solitude. That's
Yeah.
fine with me. Lock myself on the tower.
But think about the underwear you'd go through.
I choose death.
I'm jumping off a bridge.
It's just every room you walk in, everyone else is talking out of their butt. You're the only one not.
I'm taking a header.
The more I think about it, the more I'm like, I'm the one talking.
Me and my talking butt or non-talking butt, one or the other are off a bridge.
Off a bridge. I'm
Dude,
flooding
you're
way
just,
down.
you're just trying to piss everybody off because you're begging for the silent treatment at all times. Like, just stop.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna go back to the other icebreaker.
That's a pink eye
I
ring.
feel like it's a little better. It's not much better now that I'm thinking about
Yeah,
it.
it's terrible. It's hard to explain. In my head, it made sense.
Hard to explain.
Yeah.
Which one is it?
Would you rather carve a pumpkin that's overly or disgustingly full of seeds and guts, or a pumpkin-sized apple?
Pumpkin-sized
But you got to
apple.
carve it
That
into a
sounds cute.
jack-o'-lantern. So you got to get the candle in there.
Well, yeah.
You're doing
a
more
little
labor.
teacher candle. I like them small little ones.
I don't know. I just don't know if I'd rather deal with the guts that I get out quicker,
Guts are
or deal
gross.
with hollowing out a solid object. I don't know.
I feel like I'd rather do an apple because I at least like to eat apples.
Same.
I would say it's still a pumpkin, but it's just solid like an apple. What about that?
You said pumpkin-sized apple.
I don't know. It was easier to explain.
I even ran it by you 3 times.
I feel like it takes more artistry to carve a smaller, like an apple. Anyone can carve a pumpkin. It's big.
Well,
that
the
takes some
apple
skill.
was pumpkin sized.
Yeah, it's a big apple.
Oh, well.
Not like New York,
Yeah.
but like,
So the size is the same. So you're gonna have
I
to hollow
still
it
choose
out.
the apple because
yeah, I still choose the
the
apple.
guts are gross.
Is it a Granny Smith or if it's a Granny Smith? I'm out. Honey Crisp, I'm in.
I'm going to say a Fuji. I love Fuji apples.
Gala
Wow.
apples?
You're one of those guys, huh?
Oh, you're a Fuji apple guy.
We get it. You're voting for Kamala.
All right. Let's move on.
Moving on.
Anyways,
I only have one topic to talk about today before we jump into the guest questions. And that's, do you guys watch any YouTube
On occasion.
or TikTok or
Sometimes.
any social media? Do you know a Nikocado avocado?
yeah, that's wild, son.
No.
The greatest heel turn possibly in history.
This might be the best villain arc I've ever seen in my life. So his whole thing was doing mukbangs. So he would do these I think he originally started as a vegan YouTuber. So he just
gross.
is yeah. Well, then he
He
started.
plays like a fool, like
Yeah.
super obnoxious, like when you watch public freakouts, like he acts like one of those people,
Yeah.
like he's just out there.
But so then he started doing mukbangs, doing like the 7,000 calorie meals and eating all this food. Gained like over 250 pounds.
He was a really small guy.
yeah. Yes.
Petite.
Accurate.
Yeah, by the end of it though, he was like on jazzy scooters and stuff, like
Oh, yeah.
extremely obese.
Yeah. Like at
Couldn't
least,
see his
at
neck
least,
anymore.
At least 350 plus. And so then it just came out last week. He posted a video that within 11 hours had 4 million views. And then it's where he revealed that all the videos he's posted for the last 2 years were pre-recorded as a social experiment. And while everyone is hating on him, doing all these videos, talking about how unhealthy he is, how disgusting he is, making fun of him, he was losing weight the entire time. And so then revealed that he hadn't made a video in 2 years, and now he's back to being small.
He
and
done
that
it with
we
like a whole-
failed
Yeah.
the experiment.
He done it with like a whole like villain style monologue too, to where he was like playing the bad guy, and like it was all been a prank. You guys fell for it. You guys are idiots. And he was like, since I started, my whole plan was I'm not going to kill myself doing this. I'm going to stop and get healthy again at 30. And all that stuff. He's like, it was all you guys played right in my hands. It was a character the whole time, and yada yada yada. I'll show you his before and afters. It's wild.
Yeah,
So
'Cause,
he
like,
didn't
he's so
record
crazy,
any
you don't know what's
new
true.
content for like
for
2
2
years.
years.
He had that much built up.
Like you don't know like what's real and what's not with him though, because he's like he acts so insane.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I saw a bunch of stuff about him pop up, but I never clicked on any of it.
It's wild.
He also had an OnlyFans while he was fat with his boyfriend.
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
it was pretty gnarly. So yeah, apparently we all failed the social experiment.
Yeah. Well,
I never commented, but
I
I,
didn't-
would say
I
that I
didn't
failed
take it.
too.
He was one of the only people
I
I
didn't
see
take
him.
the
On,
test.
I see a few people on YouTube like him via other people. Like I love just internet garbage. but I don't have the time to go through all of it or the patience to watch a 4-hour Nikocado video. So I watch other people going, guess what this idiot did? It's like a compilation. They cut and they talk about it.
Yep. That's pretty much how I know him. I never watched his stuff because why do I want to watch?
And like he had other people playing along.
Yeah.
That haven't said anything yet. Because he was on there's a guy like named Oopaville who like does a lot of conspiracy videos and stuff. He flew him out. He was like, I want to meet this guy and see if it's real or not. He's like, he made me jump through all these hoops. I had to buy him a new scooter. He would like randomly jump in my pool and start skinny dipping and crap. But this video just come out like a couple weeks ago and he acted like it had just happened. So like people are like, wait a minute, is the video of him skinny an old video that he planned to release? Or did he really have all the fat stuff pre-recorded and he's skinny now? Like everybody's like, what really happened?
We're like a couple episodes ahead, and I can't keep track of our timeline.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh yeah, his is nuts. And so now he's got
I couldn't imagine he's 2 years ahead.
He's got a whole TikTok now just to proving that it's really him. So people will comment like, "Oh, if it's just AI," so he'll like go around different cities doing dances and stuff. Be like, "No, whatever you want to see, dude, it's me."
Wow.
I mean, he's still weird.
Yeah,
but
well, I mean, yeah, the whole premise is kind of. I mean, you've got to be a little weird.
Yeah,
It'd be weird if you're on TikTok. TikTok is Chinese spyware.
we're not on TikTok.
Barely.
I'm a double agent. I've got them watching me. They're like, they can watch Dave. They'll never have any idea what's going on. They're not going to know what he's thinking next. They'll probably be more scared of him than we are.
If they see your For You page, yeah, they have no idea what you're thinking.
Like they don't even sell my information to people. They just give it to them. Like here, just look at it.
Like my For You page, my For You page is questionable just by like osmosis of being your friend. Because even my wife will see mine as I'm scrolling. She'll go, "What are you watching over there?" I'm like, honestly, I don't know.
After I send my wife a couple things, I usually get that. She's like, "I gotta quit watching crap you got me because I got something you like on my feed. It makes no sense." So like a little background. I find like the Gail Lewises before they're Gail Lewises. Like I'm finding people with like 5 likes and no followers that are just out there. My TikTok feed, I don't get any of the normal people on my TikTok
who's
feed.
Gail Lewis?
So she was the one that was quit the Walmart and was like signing off. She was viral. Like so. I'll show you Gail Lewis after the podcast. You'll enjoy Gail Lewis. She's a crazy, no, not crazy. She's an older lady who worked at Walmart.
Enjoy might be
and
overstatement.
She was like quitting, but she like was really emotional about it. She's like, I went through a pandemic with these people, 10 years. And then like a police officer signing off, she pulls out her microphone at the Walmart. Like, this is Gail Lewis, number blah, 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 signing off for the last time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I found these people in their homes via the internet. And just watch them.
No, he literally finds them in there.
Watch them
Just
watch them blossom until people like them for a week or two, and then they go away. But I keep following. Like I got a lady on TikTok the other day who was dead serious because she's not all there, and was like, I'm just wondering, guys, I've been doing a lot of work. Can crazy people be attractive? Because I've been getting a lot of dental work and a tan, and I just don't know if it's worth the effort.
Yeah. She was like, before I spend the money on braces, I just want to know, can crazy people be attractive?
solid question.
I mean, I see a lot of crazy people get, I mean,
there's a whole video about it, the crazy to hotness scale.
I was the 5th like on that one. I'm the pioneer, dog. I'm boldly going.
the 5th like.
Yeah, I am TikTok Shatner.
Crazy
son.
hotness scale video.
Oh yeah, that's a classic. You know that guy's not the guy doing it, but the guy that hosted it. What's his name? James Yeager from Tennessee. He passed away. He's not alive anymore. Yeah.
R.I.G.
He was one of my favorite tactical YouTubers back in the day.
Yeah.
He did.
James Earl Jones.
He was the king of Zamunda.
Mufasa.
All right,
Moment of silence. 45 minutes.
45 minutes.
Okay.
And now we're back.
Yeah. So I'll edit in a 45-minute pause there, Dave.
It's not the same. James will know.
All right. So to bring things into our guest, because we had him on here for a reason.
Yeah.
I mean, and not to talk about TikTok.
Yeah. I was just thinking, because it seems like a lot of times we end up talking about fighting, MMA stuff and wrestling and whatever, but we hadn't had a fighter on yet.
No, I tried once. He's really busy.
We finally got a fighter.
Lee Radford.
Oh my God, I love Lee.
Everybody loves Lee.
Everyone loves Lee. He's the greatest guy ever.
I've worked with him for like 7 years. Freaking love Lee.
He trained with me at Knoxville Martial Arts Academy.
Dude, he's awesome.
And his son, Colby Radford, is.
Yep.
And I watched him fight.
Yeah, he's agreed to come on. We're trying to get a date set right now, I think.
Yeah.
But to get into it, What got you into MMA? We'll start with a simple one.
Oh, what got me into it? Well, I always grew up liking vigilantes, superheroes, and I really, really hate bullies. Like, bullies are the worst. People that just pick on the small and weak. And, like, they're
all right, Dave, you're out.
Damn. So, and I'm like, I want to be able to protect my family, defend myself, and stick up for the little people. So I'm like, fighting, that's cool. Let's do that. and what's more manly than beating the crap out of someone? I'll get made people like, oh, it's pretty gay, bro. You're in your underwear and you're wrestling with grown men. I'm like, you're just upset that I'd kick your butt.
You worried you'd get excited?
Right. Yeah. I'm not wearing a cup.
It's all me.
I'm always this hard.
That ain't a cup.
Yeah, people who roll without cups on are perverts. Yeah. If I'm in jiu-jitsu with you and I can feel your squishy sack just on my belly, I'm gonna make sure.
Keep talking.
I'm gonna get on top and I'm gonna knee slide across every time. Oh, I'm not wearing a cup. Like, that's a you problem.
Yeah.
You should have wore a cup, you pervert.
Should have done. Yeah.
You pervert.
Yeah.
Like,
You put on a cup or fluff, one of the two, dog. You can fight back.
I don't want to figure.
Yeah.
Flaccid.
I don't want to feel it the other way either.
I was about to say, well,
I don't want to feel it at all.
Yeah, no, I just don't want to feel it. Yeah.
Glad you cleared that up for us.
Yeah. Your cup can be a weapon too. You can use that. You sit on someone's belly, or put your arm bar and put your cup.
Well, I watched the thing and they were talking about how it can be used as extra leverage for arm
100%.
bars.
If you're trying to arm bar someone and
Makes sense.
you don't have a cup on, it hurts.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to smash your arm.
Who's going to tap out first?
Yeah. It's like, you tap to your own. Like,
That would be awful for the person, but amazing to watch.
Oh, Lord. Like,
I call it the big top.
I won
I
the
put him in an
fight, but I
arm bar,
lost
trying
the
to
battle.
raise the mast. That's my move, yeah. Makes like a circus tent.
The big
top.
Like, the bigger the cup, the better the leverage.
Yeah.
Easier the arm bar.
The winner in the third round via the big top. My cousin won via banana split one time.
Dude, that's so embarrassing.
Yeah, his pro debut was the other guy's pro debut too. I was like, how
It's never happened to me in a fight, but rolling with people.
Yeah, the guy was just kind of like, he had lost the fight and he just kind of panicked and just kind of locked up. My cousin was like, I was like, oh.
Yeah, like, dude, you're ripping my butthole open. This sucks.
Yeah, he lost via banana split at his pro debut.
Like, and it's
I'd have been so
humiliating. Like, what's
pissed.
worse, the physical pain or the emotional damage? Like, what is going on here?
All you picture in your head the whole time is that guy, emotional damage.
For a while, his pro record was 0-1 because of a banana split.
That's it.
Yeah,
I would never fight again.
Yeah, well,
I don't know. I
stick pride aside, yeah.
maybe want to get like a win, maybe, or
don't
a
know.
different loss.
I'd be too
Just so
afraid to
that's
show my face
not the
anywhere
only thing
again,
on your
or my
record.
butt for that
Just
matter.
move over to pride for name alone.
But yeah, that's the thing. You gotta. A lot of people can win. It's easy winning. It takes a lot. It's a lot harder to lose. Like,
Yeah.
people, I know there's a lot of people who go undefeated and they lose once and they stop doing it. Like, it's easy to win.
Yep.
Like, you're great. When you lose, that's what really shows your character. Like, how well can you lose? Because I mean, and how good of a fighter are you if you haven't lost? It's a lot of people who are like, oh, I'm undefeated. I'm like, sometimes they're good, but a lot of times they're not fighting the right people.
They're just not being tested.
Yeah, they're picking their battles, and
Jake Paul.
he's just paying her. He's making money. He's making other fighters money.
My first thought was Rowdy Ronda. She was like unstoppable and then lost and then
Rousey
was like
sucks.
bad,
Like,
bad,
armbar
bad,
everyone.
That's true.
Holly
Yeah.
Holm
because like
beat
there
the
was
crap
it's like the
Yeah.
female division was like nothing and she was just knocking everybody out and then she got her first real fight lot and then was never the
That
same.
was it.
Yeah.
Did she even come back after that?
To
She went to
WWF.
WWE.
Like,
And still sucks there. Yeah, I think it was E by the time she went.
I was trying to think if she came back and lost again, but I don't think she
People
came
hate
back
her
at
there
all.
too.
Yeah.
Like
What was that fighter? Remember, this has been a bunch of podcasts ago.
Dave's out.
Remember, he was like, his record was.
Oh, I remember I was talking about Tyson Fury's records. He fought some dude that was like 10 and 115 or something like that.
I was like, how spaced for those 10 wins to keep him going
Yeah.
through 115
Honestly, yeah.
losses, you know?
that guy's nickname was the get right game. Let's get right game.
That guy's name was everybody's debut.
I fought a guy when I joined the gym finally, a guy named Bud Cook. He was 0-10 at the time. Now I think he's like 0-15. But I mean, the dude, I give it to him. He's got heart and he's tough. He goes in there and after that many losses, I think eventually I'd
be like, maybe I'll just do this recreationally.
Yeah.
And the intros just don't work as well. Coming in with a totally defeated record of 0-15.
Yeah.
Introduction writes itself at that point.
I mean, I started as an independent. I didn't train anywhere. I was like, I was working out at Planet Fitness, and I saw a guy named James Arden.
Yep.
He had a fight lined up, and I was like, hey, I want to fight. And he goes, all right, here's the promoter's name and number. So I texted Tim Loy, and he was like, all right, you're fighting next weekend.
Yeah, I was there. I saw that fight.
Yeah, it was it's the worst fight in the world. I've never thought, I have no clue how to fight.
But you
didn't do training before that.
No. Yeah, I tell people, if you don't train, you're not a good fighter. You might get lucky at times, but if you don't train, so all these guys that walk around at my work, they're like, I'd beat you up. I'm like, well, how often do you train? Well, I don't. Well, you can't fight.
Yeah.
I mean, you might beat up some average Joe, but anyone who has any slight knowledge of what they're doing, you're regardless of size. Like, dude, I'm like 260 pounds. Like, and I will break your arms and legs like that, and you'll be done for it.
But yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, I've mentioned you before to different people. I was like, I know this guy Elijah, and he signed up for his first MMA fight.
Told me.
Like the weekend before the fight, he just showed up and fought, and it didn't go great for him.
No.
I was like, but then
I won the first round when I lost the second round.
Counts.
I died the third round.
But but then I was like, dude stuck with it. Joined a gym, started training. I was like, man, he's winning fights now. I mean,
I think it says a lot too. Kind of like you said, like it takes a lot to come back from losing.
Learn how to lose,
especially if your first fight is
my first 4 fights I lost. Hear me out. So I didn't train, so I signed up and I won the first round just by pure trash swinging. I mean, he was his debut too. Jalen Harper. He's gotten a whole lot better since then. He's a great fighter. I was just a lot of output, and I won the first round, and I'm gassed. So round 2, he picks me apart. Round 3, my arms are down, and I can't pick them up. And then the ref calls it after multiple unanswered strikes. My second time I fought was MMA. Again, I just signed up for it, showed up. I didn't train anywhere, and I was knocked out. Guy kicked Tanner Poe. Kicked me in the head. In the first round, 30 seconds, and I was out for 5 minutes. My wife's like, he died. He's dead. They had to drag my body out of the cage and dude, he's not waking up.
Dude, I remember talking to you after that fight, and you did not know where you were.
I had no clue, dude. I don't know if you've ever been put to sleep or knocked out. Yeah. It feels like years will fly by, and you wake up, you have no clue where you are, what you're wearing, what thought is in your head. I woke up on a bar stool.
Sounds like Dave's Saturday night.
Listen, I woke up on a bar stool in the middle of the Joe. Yeah. Go back in the corner of the Joe. I'm on a stool and I'm looking around. I have no clue what's going on. I'm in underwear. I'm freaking out. What's going on, man?
Why am I in a nightclub in my underwear?
Yeah, I'm there's some mistakes for me. I'm freaking out.
And why is Dale Earnhardt standing behind you?
Why does my butt hurt? And then I heard people say, "Hey, good fight." As I walked by, I'm like, "Oh, I fought." Yeah. And I was like, "How did I do?" And said, "Oh, you got knocked up." Yeah. And I was like, "Oh, I should go home. I should hide my face. This sucks." So then my next fight, which is fight number 3, I go out there and I don't know any ground game. The guy puts me down and puts me in an arm bar in the first minute of the fight, and I'm like, I don't want to break my arm. So I tap. I don't want to break my arm. So that's loss number 3. So then my next fight, Dan Bailey. That was a very last minute fight. He weighed a lot more than I did. His opponent pulled out.
That's something we don't do on the Iron Palace.
Yeah. I have 4 children. I know. So his opponent pulled out. They needed a fighter that weekend, and the promoter was like, "Hey, we need someone to fight." And said, "I'll do it." He's a bit heavier than me, so I weighed in with jeans on, boots, and quarters in my pocket so I can make weight. Just stupid. Don't ever try to go up. Yeah. He was a big boy, undefeated. And I tried fighting him, and he broke my rib. I'm pretty sure I broke my orbital bone. My eye was swelled shut for a month. I couldn't see out of it. My wife thought my eye was gone. That was a pretty brutal beating. And it was 2019, Friday, the 13th, December. I call it the nightmare before Christmas. Yeah. was like December 13th, Friday. But he's the nicest guy in the world. I love Dan. After that fight, I went up and talked to him, and I was like, dude, I want to train with you. Introduce me to your coaches. He took me over to Jason King and I think Joey Zonar at the time and Eric Turner. Yeah. And they're like, yeah, man, we'd love to have you at Knoxville Martial Arts Academy whenever you heal up. Because I was pretty crippled. And ever since then, I started going to Knoxville Martial Arts Academy, and me and Dan have gotten real close. I love sparring with him. He actually hosted my bachelor party at his house. We just went to his garage, and I had a bunch of guys just beat me up. Put gloves on. I'm like, what? You know what, manly? I think
sounds like my bar mitzvah.
My mother-in-law was like, do not get a black eye before the wedding. I'm like, that's exactly what I'm trying to do. I want a black eye for the wedding. You know?
There's nothing cooler than that.
Yeah. So I went 0-4 as an independent. You know, I'm not training. And then I joined Knoxville Martial Arts Academy, and I went 3-0. I won 3 in a row, and I lost a couple. But overall, I went like 9-4, 9 wins, 4 losses with a gym. A couple of those losses were, or at least one decision was some BS decision, but you know, whatever it happens. Other ones, I'm winning the fight, and I get overzealous, and I should win, and then I get a little, you know, I tell you, I smell the blood in the water, and I double down and get caught, and you know, crap happens. All it takes is one punch.
Yeah, I mean, you know, anything can happen in a fight. It's great, you know. It's
everyone's
wild.
got a puncher's chance.
I live my life by that.
Yeah. Like, and never judge a book by its cover. I see these, like when I joined the gym, like, oh, look at these super tiny, scrawny, 125-pound anime nerds, like whatever, and I get the living crap beat out of me. I'm like, what is going on?
Or get like choked out in like 5 seconds. Like
Emily King, she's a really small woman.
Oh yeah,
very dangerous woman. She kicked my Adam's apple right out of my throat. I'm like, dude, like some side karate kick straight to my. And I'm like, dude, at first I was like, I've never hit a woman before. I don't want to punch her. You know, they're soft. And then she kicks me in the throat and then in the face. And I'm like, I want to hit this woman. And then I couldn't hit her because she was just way faster than me. I'm like, this sucks. I can't.
Now that I want to, I can't.
I went through a whole arc in my head. I'm like, I was raised never to hit a woman. Now I want to hit you. Now I can't hit you. And it was like,
get back here.
I went home and just laid and thought I could sleep.
Everything I knew is a lie.
My cousin Tyler, he's tiny, but I don't know what I'm doing. So just for fun, I'd be like, hey, you want to beat me up? And we'd go roll and stuff. And like he had a talent for he could make himself feel like he weighed 300 pounds laying on my chest. He fights really heavy.
100%. Yeah.
Like it just goes back to what you said. Like there's a knowledge to it that people just don't understand.
I have a friend who weighs like 220 pounds. He played football, athlete, pretty solid. Never martial arts in his life. We rolled, and he's like, "Dude, you feel like you're like 300 pounds?" Because I just would hold like a yoga ball. I just kind of float on top of him. He tried moving, and I'm always on top. I can make my. It's all about put your hips on them, balance, and just really sink your weight down.
Keep talking.
Why are you taking notes, Dave?
Yeah.
Hey, write that down.
My younger brother is he got out of the Marine Corps. He was like 225 pounds. He's jacked. You can curl like 150-pound dumbbells. He's a big, strong guy. I'm not saying as strong as you guys, obviously. But
I can't curl 150 pounds. I know
you
that.
can see how big this dude is. He was massive. And everyone's like, oh, he's going to kick your butt. You guys should wrestle. I'm like, oh, we can wrestle. And I throw him around like a rag doll. I'm like, I still got it. I'm the little big brother, but
I mean, because like
size doesn't mean anything. Well, and if you're both equally trained, it does mean a lot.
Or until you get to like Brian Shaw.
That was about to be my question.
He's like
if I'm fighting
6'9".
Hathor Bjornsson, like my greatest bet chance is to just blow your knees out and then get you on the ground.
Yeah,
which all it takes is one straight linear kick to the knee.
Yeah.
See, we've talked about that often.
I saw Dustin Poirier rolling with Brian Shaw.
Yeah, Dustin's a beast too. But.
Yeah,
but like it got to. He had to tap. Just Brian's laying on him. And
that's the thing. These guys just grab a hold of your face, like the mountain. I mean, he's Game of Thrones.
Right. Yeah, I mean, these guys are
exactly that.
These guys are 400 plus pounds.
Yeah.
You know?
At some point, I'm like, these people are just like demigod giants. Like,
they're
otherworldly. Like, what are you doing? You're not a normal human being.
Yeah, they got their Game Shark on, dude. They're cheating.
And you know what you do with those people?
I sent him a meme the other day. It was Goku in the middle of a bunch of bodies laying around, and the bodies were like jiu-jitsu, karate, blah, blah, blah. And Goku was labeled Glock 19.
Yeah.
So to that point, what would you say the size difference where it starts to matter? I mean, obviously, like...
I'd say about 8 inches.
Hey, 6 inches is a lot.
Obviously, I feel confident at 270, you would absolutely tear me apart. But is there?
But in a good way.
I would like to exhibition. Maybe we could come over to the gym.
I'm good. It's fine.
I would love to see
that.
Fun. Yeah. Not.
I've been to KMAA one time.
Yeah.
For a kickboxing class, and I fought the legitimate Brienne of Tarth.
Who was it? Olivia Parker.
I do not know her name.
She's real strong.
I was literally there one time.
She's
and I swear,
Olivia Parker ended up getting a Bellator fight.
Yeah, she's a lot stronger than a lot of the guys I know. Yeah. She'll beat me up.
Yeah, I don't remember if I've told this story on podcast or not, but I'll tell it again.
I've not heard it at all.
So my mom is 5'0".
Yep.
And she took karate all the way until she had me, and like she did the Battle of Atlanta and all that cool stuff. Well, now she hasn't done it in a while, and she said, I want to take this kickboxing class. Caleb, will you go with me? I was like, Mom, I've never been in a fight in my entire life. She was like, well, it'll be fun. I was like, whatever, we'll go. So we show up, we're working on combinations for whatever, and then we get like towards the end, and the guy says, all right, you're going to pair off with someone that's about your size, and we're going to work on combinations. It's going to be right jab, left hook, right uppercut. You'll take turns wearing pads, and you'll just go back and forth. Yeah. Well, I looked over, and I see a dude on the other side of the room that's about my height, but he was like a stick. Mm-hmm. And at the time, I weighed 290. I was a little bigger than I am now. Yeah. And I was like, oh, that's my dude over there. Because I don't know what I'm doing, but I know he won't hurt me. I think.
Not physically.
I think. So I'll take one step, and I feel my shoulder cave in. And I turn over, and I can't make this up. This woman looks at me, I swear, looks like Brienne of Tarth, blonde hair, looks me eye to eye and goes, I was like, dear God.
She did the grunt.
I swear, dude, I'm not making this up, dude. Like she punched my shoulder in, and then I turned around, and she's like, like, oh my God, I'm dead. Like, she's absolutely going to kill me.
Then she shot smoke out of her nose.
And I don't even think I answered. I think I was like, okay.
Back to that tall, skinny guy. Do you guys have kids?
I do not know.
Have you guys ever, have nieces and nephews you've played with and you're laying on the floor? Have you ever been hit in the face by a toddler?
Yes.
It freaking hurts. I have a 2-year-old at home and older kids, but the 2-year-old, I'll be laying there, just come up and just smack. I'm like, that freaking hurts.
Yeah.
Like, you can't say, if a man, you're only 130 pounds, I'm like, if he hits you, it's going to freaking hurt.
Yeah.
You can go to sleep. And they could choke you out. That's because they're like, oh, you can't hurt me, you're too small. I'm like, a toddler can hurt me, man. If you just take a solid punch or slap to the side of the face, it doesn't feel good.
Yeah, it's like Bradley Martin talking to Nate Diaz.
Bradley Martin's a wiener.
Absolutely agree.
100. He's like, oh, dude, I'm 250, bro. I'm whatever.
Yep.
I'd kill that guy. No, you're going to get demolished.
I would pay so much money to watch Nate Diaz.
Oh, that's what Nate,
he's like, you think I can take you? He goes, nah, man.
Yeah.
Like,
he didn't even have to think about it. He's like, no.
He's like, Nate's like, no, I'd beat the crap out of you. And then that Ryan Delaney, what's that guy's name? Little boxer. He's like, nah, he'd probably beat you too, man.
Yeah.
He's like, but bro, he's like 150. I'm 250.
Yeah.
I'm like 150 pounds, 160. That's not tiny. People are like, oh, because I don't know why dudes. I wish I was born like a freaking giant. I'd love to be 6'5" and 6'6".
I wish I was
250 pounds. That'd be great. But I'm built like Bruce Lee, so I'm small.
I mean, it's not bad.
But I can run upstairs without being winded. That's great.
That's why I skip so many steps. Otherwise, I will be winded.
So I refuse to take them less than 2 at a time.
Take an elevator. So.
I'm too claustrophobic. Screw elevators.
Fat boy takes the elevator.
Yeah, people at my work think, oh, if you're not 200 pounds, then you're small and you're weak. And apparently being skinny makes you less masculine somehow too, which is annoying.
I disagree.
It's very toxic. And I'm like, oh, I got to be giant. Or they're like, oh, I like tall guys. Like, old guys can't help being short. No, but yeah, 150 pounds, that's a solid athlete right there, 160. I mean, obviously, you look at guys in the NFL, they're all humongous, just freaks. But people get this weird misconception where if you're less than 200 pounds, you're somehow less of a man or not as strong or athletic.
Yeah.
Oh, people always assume I can fight. Like, they just assume I'm going to win. No,
yeah,
dude.
Everyone's like, oh, you're getting your butt kicked by your brother. Look how big he is. I'm like, especially those like gym rats, the guys that are like super like bodybuilders, jacked.
Yeah.
Like they can't, scratch their back.
Yeah, they don't have enough movement.
Yeah. They cannot fight.
Jujimufu, most of them don't really have any flexibility.
They cannot fight. Our gym right now is right next to a Gold's gym, and we'll get some meat lugs come in there and like, I'm gonna beat everyone up. I'm like, Like if you land a punch, sure, it could do some damage. That's a big if you land a punch.
Yeah, because you're really slow.
I could see the telegraph.
Yeah.
It's coming through, and then after like 3 punches, you're dead and gassed because all the lactic acid. Your arms are dropped.
They'll lose via heart attack in the third round.
100%. They'll beat themselves. You just got to just move.
Talk about your arms. So I don't know, 1 year in college, every Friday night we boxed. We moved all the furniture out of the living room of this thing, and we would box. But we first started out, we were going to do 5-minute rounds. Mm-hmm. After the first 5-minute round,
5 minutes is a long
dude. After the first
Amen.
5-minute round, we're like, we're gonna do 3-minute rounds. Then we're like, after this, we did 1 5-minute round. We're like, no, we're gonna do 3-minute rounds. We did a 3-minute round, and we're like, yeah, we're gonna do 2-minute rounds. So then we stayed with 2-minute rounds.
30-second rounds, guys.
After that, they go, what if we just talk about it? Like, what if I'm going to hit you and then you block it, and then
What if we D&D this fight?
People at work, I'd give you a good 3 minutes of fighting, and then you could probably, I'm like, you'd be, I wouldn't give you 3 seconds. Like 30 seconds, you're dead and gassed.
I mean, it's so tiring.
It's a different kind of cardio.
There was a podcast, I think it might have been Sean O'Malley talking to someone, and they said, how long do you think it'd be before you knock me out? And he's like, 15 seconds.
100%.
Yeah.
It goes back to the knowledge. It's the only knowledge I have, so I keep going back to it. My cousin, like, he's half my size, so I was like, let's not wrestle, let's box, because I've got a lot of reach on you. Somehow I would keep him at arm's length and think, oh, he can't get me. But he would hit me in the nose and get away where I couldn't reach him before I'd even see it. I'm like, what the hell are you doing, dog? I can't. I was trying to think of any way I could use an advantage to beat this guy. Never could. Yeah. I'm totally defeated by Tyler Hunley.
I remember at the old gym me and Holland used to go to, there was this little short dude that he was always training, like, I'm assuming his nephew or something. I don't know. It's like his 12-year-old nephew. And I went up to the gym. I was working out doing incline press one day, and they were over there doing, like, they were wrestling, I guess. It wasn't quite jiu-jitsu or anything, but they're just wrestling around. Mm-hmm. Then all of a sudden, I'm over here doing incline press, and I just feel the whole room shake. And I turn around, and like the dude just straight hip tossed his nephew, slammed him on the ground, and I took my headphones off, and I hear the kid go, "You said no throwing." He was like, "You got to be prepared, bro." I was like, "What?"
I hate hip tosses.
Yeah, I got hip tossed by a dude like that tall, and again, it was whenever I weighed 290.
Again, yeah, you're just using the other person's momentum and the weight against them.
Yeah, as soon as I hit the ground, I just laid there. I was like, it's fine. I don't want to get up.
Dude, I bet you felt like a tree.
It felt like forever.
6'6" of you going around.
Dude, it felt like literal forever.
They didn't go on a second date.
No, that's on God. That's probably the only time I've been thrown since I was 5, and it felt like I was falling forever, and I don't want to do it again.
Yeah. You got to land right, too. If you don't land, you could land properly. You could break your bones and snap your arm. A lot of people want to stick their arm out when they're falling.
I think he had my arms pinned, so I was in no danger of that.
I only fall like a girl. Hands up. Like, don't try to stop myself at all.
Swooning over here. Oh, gosh.
So what's your favorite? Are you more of a stand-up guy or a ground game guy? Like what would you
100% stand up. Yeah. I mean,
he's a real stand-up guy.
Yeah,
I mean, hey.
Obviously wrestlers are really big and successful in MMA. Look at the UFC, all these Dagestani dudes coming in here and mauling everyone. Wrestling is a great foundation. I wish I wrestled in high school. I just thought those unitards looked so gay. I was like, I can't wear those, man. It looks weird. Everything's pressed. And it just looked weird. I don't want to wear that.
Don't want them to see the tennis. I feel the same way.
Yeah, I'm like, this is put me in anything other than that, and I would do it. But
let me do it in sweats. Come on.
Yeah, that was another thing I tried like one time and didn't like it. I got thrown again then. I didn't like it then either.
But yeah, I wish I did do some wrestling. But I like stand-up striking a lot more. Wrestling has that kind of boring, it's
I agree.
Yeah.
If the lay and pray, like guys are winning, or if they start losing the fight, they shoot and then lay on you. Like, I can always fall on this as my backup, which obviously as a good MMA fighter, you should be well rounded. Yeah. I should be able to get up, and if I like striking more, I should work my wrestling so good to where I don't have to wrestle. My wrestling's so good I can stop your wrestling and keep us where I want the fight on the feet. Like the last guy I just fought, he watched the all my old fight videos, which all my videos on YouTube suck. I don't have any of my good ones on there. I'm just saying. If you Google me, I'm like, oh no, these all are terrible.
Same.
Like all my good ones, you got to be there. But he's like, I watched old film of him. He does not like to wrestle. So I'm a, take him down and submit him. And he was saying that in the interview, and I heard it before the fight. And I looked at my coach, Jason King, and I was like, hey, I kind of want to shoot in this guy now. I want to show him I can wrestle. And he's like, no, F that. Do your game. Do what you're good at. Make him play your game. Don't do his game. And I'm like, well, I want to stand and start with you. He tried. He flew up like a flying triangle, which was pretty cool. If that would have worked,
that is a cool
that
looking
would have
move.
been awesome.
Yeah.
And
One of those you lose and you're like, I'm not mad.
like that was awesome. Like, dude, I mean, like Patty the Batty.
Like, hopefully this was on tape.
Whoever recorded that, I want it.
I want to see that.
And everyone in the crowd's yelling, slam him. Because he was like half on me, and I wanted to slam him. But then I was thinking, if I slam him, it's going to go one of two ways. One, I slam him, and he gets wobbled, and I stand up, and I start smashing him. Great. Or I slam him, and he slides into a deeper choke.
Yeah.
And then I'm being choked out.
And then
yeah, and or I get out of the choke, but I'm on the ground and I'm in his world.
And he didn't want to be there.
His jiu-jitsu is he's I think a purple belt. He was better than me, jiu-jitsu wise, rank wise anyway.
Everyone thinks of Here Comes the Boom, and he's just like,
slam
boom, match is over.
Yeah,
slamming it shows how much people don't really know about fighting either. They hear a big noise and like, oh, it sounds cool when it is. Like,
who was it that Matt Hughes passed out with him on his shoulders and then fell, and the drop knocked that dude out and woke Matt Hughes up? Do you guys remember that?
I remember a guy taking someone down and knocking himself out on the takedown. We picked him up and just slammed the dude, and his face hit the canvas, and he knocked himself out.
Matt Hughes had this guy on the ground, and the guy was sitting there and had his legs and then wrapped him around Matt Hughes and tried to choke him with his legs. So Matt Hughes stood up with the guy on his shoulders and then walks across the mat and then goes unconscious and falls. The fall knocks this guy out, wakes up Matt Hughes. Matt Hughes stood up. He won.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Who has that kind of luck? I don't.
Yeah, they were both going, though, like, what happened? Like, neither one of them knew
both
what
of them woke
happened.
up like,
yeah, they had to describe to them,
which
this
one
is
of
what
us
happened,
won?
and you won because you got up.
Why is this guy on my shoulders?
Yeah. But you're talking about your your ground game should be good enough that you don't have to get down. You're like, it's like what's her name? Joanna Jędrzejczyk.
You made that up.
She she was like a 6-7 time defending champ or whatever, pure stand up. But her takedown defense was ridiculous. Like, she got taken down 4 times in like 15 fights. I mean, it was crazy.
Yeah. You look at like Israel Adesanya, like he doesn't ever. People want to wrestle him, and he can't.
They can't.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, his wrestling's real good that he doesn't ever use it just to keep people from wrestling him.
Justin Gaethje. He's
got the all-American wrestling background.
and he just wants to stand in a phone booth and swing.
He's got dynamite in his hands, dude.
Yeah. Which I mean, I don't blame him.
Max Holloway fight.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, dude, that was the.
I threw a chair at my work. I'm like, dude, it was awesome.
That was the coolest end I've ever seen.
Yeah, imagine being up 4 rounds and you're winning the entire fight, and you stand there with a guy like Justin Gaethje, and you point to the cage and like, let's go.
Yeah.
Like, I see guys losing the fight and they point to the center of the cage. It's like, why am I going to give you the chance to knock me out? I'm beating you. Screw you. Holloway's winning the entire fight.
Oh yeah.
And he's pointing in the middle, saying, "Let's go. Here's your chance to knock me out."
Yep.
Gaethje, that's his bread and butter right there.
Yep.
In the pocket swinging, like you're playing with fire here, and Holloway beautifully stamps it out. Second to go in the fight.
Yep.
Max Holloway's built different though. I mean, he's a different kind of dude.
Insane. His nonstop pace and cardio as well as.
Because it's exactly like that. Like, if you look at him, and then you look at him next to Justin Gaethje.
Yeah, I thought he was going to get murdered by Gaethje. Everyone thought he was going to get murdered by Gaethje. Like, Gaethje's way bigger. He looks bigger.
Yep.
He hits harder. Yeah.
That was just an awesome fight.
It was amazing. Yeah, I'm so happy for her. I like both the fighters.
Yeah.
I just thought Gaethje was going to win that.
I agree.
Everyone
That's like Adesanya. He just got tapped not that long ago, and I didn't see that coming.
I don't care for Adesanya. I mean, a good fighter and all, but
yeah.
I feel like I want him to come back up, but I feel like he's kind of on the way down.
Yeah.
Cool though. I like his anime entrances. Those are sick.
Yeah, he's a crybaby. I'm the last crybaby. I'm not a fan of his whiny little. He beat Peloton, and he's like shooting arrows at him and like making fun of his kid. Like, I'm better than you. I'm like, dude, the dude still beat you multiple times.
Yeah, that was
like. He's like, I don't keep score. I settle them or something. Dude, you're still down. Like, how many fights?
Good thing you don't keep score because you're losing.
Then someone asked him if he's going to fight him again, and he said, "No, I won the last one way better than he beat me." I was like,
dude, he's knocked you out. I mean, granted, I mean, he Adesanya has put up a good fight with him, better than anyone else really has put up a fight with Poatan. But I feel like 9 times out of 10, Alex Pereira beats Adesanya, and that was the one time Adesanya was going to beat him. He was never going to beat him again.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. So, what do you think about Adesanya stepping up and fighting John Jones?
John Jones is going to murder.
You think?
I think so, yeah.
I think it depends on how much weight.
I think John Jones, I don't like John Jones as a person. I think he's a terrible crapwad, but I think there's not a person on this planet that would beat John Jones.
I mean,
and everyone's like, John Jones is small. Like, John Jones is a big guy.
Oh, yeah.
And he's got a crazy reach. Like, to be as good as he is and have all the natural, just...
The only person that come close to beating him, Alexander Gustafsson, and maybe Dominic Reyes, that one fight. But yeah, Gustafsson, I think he beat him that first fight. The second fight, John Jones beat the crap out of him. But that's the only time I've ever seen John Jones not winning a fight.
I don't know why he never stepped up to heavyweight before. Like, he is a monster in light heavyweight. Yeah. Why?
It's pretty crazy to watch light heavy because you'll see the one guy on one side, he'll be about the height of the cage.
Yeah.
And John Jones is like head above it.
Yeah, he's deceptively big. Everyone's like,
he did go up to heavyweight.
He did, yeah. That's what I mean. He just looks like he belongs there. But then you see him in light heavy, and he's like a foot taller.
Yeah.
If you just go by his height, he should be heavy, but he just walks around light.
He's like 6'7" or 6'8", something like that.
I think the only reason he went to heavyweight was to mess with Cormier.
I think he waited to.
He bullies Cormier.
Yeah.
I love that.
I mean, Cormier was like, "Yeah, I'm the champ, blah, blah, blah," and then John Jones was like, "Hey, guess what? I'm gonna go to heavyweight."
And he's like, "Hold my cocaine."
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're like, I mean, John Jones is not a role model. He's not somebody that like. Well, but on the same time, like
respect due where it's due.
He's the baddest man out there. Yeah. Like I don't. Well, it's like Dana was talking about. He's like, I'm talking. You put everybody in a room, and one man walks out. He goes, "That man is John Jones."
I agree.
He goes every time.
I would still like to see Francis Ngannou and Jones fight. Yeah. I don't know what the outcome will be, but
like I've seen.
That would be fun to watch.
But I've seen Stipe beat Ngannou. And like
that was early Ngannou.
Yeah,
new Ngannou who can actually strike. Like watching that boxing match with Fury, I think he.
He did just get dropped, though, in his most recent boxing match.
I've not watched. I don't keep up with boxing.
I forgot who he fought recently. But, he got...
But his striking looked a lot better.
Oh, yeah.
Than what it...
I will say Ngannou, I think, is the scariest looking person.
Yeah. If I saw...
He's like primetime Alistair Overeem. That guy was so scary looking.
Man.
Back when he was allowed to take steroids. Yeah. Man, he was jacked.
I used to be scared of Mirko Krokop.
I still am, dog.
The fangs, mouth guard,
stare downs and whatnot. Yeah, that guy's.
Dude, he was who I used to play whenever I played UFC games. That's who I picked all the time.
I check under my bed for him before I go to sleep, dude.
You still don't? I do.
So does Chuck Norris.
Yeah.
Sure, Krokop's not under here.
I think we've hit a good spot for ads before we continue on. So,
sure.
Do you need the highlights, Dave?
Do you want to get in the zone?
Not those.
The zone? Get you some of them good old smelling salts from Zone Smelling Salts. They're freaking awesome. They're really aggressive. They're dope.
You go, Dave.
They've got many different levels. If you don't want the crazy stuff, you can get the not so crazy stuff, but it still comes in a cool urn. And you can flex on your friends for having cooler smelling salts than them.
You're stealing Holland's thing, dog.
Was you?
No.
I was just doing which one I remembered.
Yeah, no, you're fine. Go for it. You're killing it.
That one's really permanently stuck there.
Yeah. Yeah. Dave has PTSD from it.
And also, while we're on the subject, support the Iron Palace. We appreciate everybody that has, but we're not really big enough necessarily to have sponsors. We have partners. So when you do this, you get a discount. We get commission. You are directly supporting the podcast. And these guys, they really like doing this, and they're really good at it. And there's not more deserving people to follow their dreams than these guys. So support them and help them out with what they want to do.
Also you, Dave.
Thanks,
also,
Dave.
Real quick sidebar, I'd like to note, he has notes. But I looked over and all I see in the top left is sword, exclamation mark.
I didn't want to forget the sword.
That's all I see.
I love it.
It's just sword.
Listen, I have to write down. I get hit in the head a lot, and I work night shift. My brain is fried.
Perfect. As soon as we finish ads, we will absolutely jump into your notes. But I couldn't let that go.
Speaking of Zone Smelling Salts, we have an example of some of them here.
Is this what you smell when you're lifting weights? And you're like,
would you like to try it?
Yeah, sure. Give me some of that booger sugar.
As a man who's felt the aggressiveness of this, they mean it when they say don't keep it 12 inches away from your nose.
Nah,
If you had this on your second fight, you would have not been knocked out for 5 minutes.
It's stout.
It'll bring you to.
Can I smell this before my fights?
Yeah, I mean,
I asked my coach, I'm like, can I do cocaine before a fight? I'm not going to. I've never done drugs. But
be like John Jones was like, well, last night I was out doing coke and
I would keep it. Start out here and then slowly.
I'm gonna snort a whole line of this, man.
I would
cut it out. Yeah,
It's not that bad.
No, is this gonna make me like? I have no idea. I've never done this. It's not 12 inches. This is a lot longer.
Yeah.
What is that?
Get you another rip. Go ahead.
I'm just gonna go full send in my nostrils. Holy shit!
Yeah.
Woo!
Snorted some gasoline. I kind of like it. I kind of want to sniff some more. We're gonna get this.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I can smell it from here.
My eyes are watering now. Never.
Oh yeah, they do that.
Get a snort of that.
Can I lift heavier weight now?
Oh yeah.
It's guaranteed.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick you up.
I mean, I'm just saying. I don't know if it helped or not, but my 800-pound world record was done with zone smelling
800
salts.
pound. What is that, like deadlift?
It was the Denny deadlift.
Ooh, here's something embarrassing. Like my upper body and lower body are very similar in like what I can lift.
Oh,
I hate
My lower body is way stronger than my upper body.
as it should be. Mine just I hate doing squats and crap. It makes me nauseous. So listen, I can like bench press like 225 pounds is like my max.
Me too.
Which I'm like for being like 155 pounds. I'm like that's decent.
Oh yeah.
You know what I can squat?
Considering he does that and he's 260.
You know what I can?
I was doing 265 for reps yesterday. Thank you.
Granted, I only did that like two and a half reps. The third one I had to have a spotter. I'm like get it up.
Shut up, Colin.
But I mean, that was. But when I do cut weight for a fight, I lose a lot of strength.
Oh, yeah.
I noticed that. I dropped like almost 30 pounds to cut. Because my last fight I fought at 135.
130.
Yeah, and something just.
It's fine.
Oh yeah, so if I walk around, like anywhere from like 157 to 163, when on a good, if I'm working out and eating a lot of protein and whatnot, I could be 165, cut down to 135, and then.
Wow.
And then so I go from like benching over 200 pounds to I can barely push 185. I'm like,
Just have other ones.
Man, I mean, like
I just got one more. It's the same other one I always do.
it's hard to believe that you cut that much weight. I mean, because it doesn't look like you have that much to lose.
know, like where is it
Like
at?
your
Water, a lot of water weight. Yeah, you should see my abs and my veins.
You got to be crazy dehydrated when that.
Yeah, I could be hospitalized. It's not healthy if you don't do it properly. Yeah, but I wish I could fight
just don't do it.
Yeah.
When my cousin was getting ready to do a lot of running,
Dude, Lord,
try to sweat it out, and then he always kept a laxative in the fridge in case he needed that last push.
nice little enema,
Yeah. I can smell them.
We also didn't mention that those are the strongest that Zone has.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
For now.
Yeah, for now.
Till Mr. Zone
I
cooks
feel like
up something new.
I need to level it out. My right nostril is on fire.
I'm going to go ahead and tell you, don't think it's going to fix it. It's just going to hit that one again.
No. You got to fight fire with fire, dude. Don't let him hold you back. You don't want to see you shine.
Like I'm getting drugs at the end.
I went and played golf with my brother, and I said, oh, man, I should have got my smelling salts out here before we hit the first drive. And I said, you want to try them? He goes, I don't like things that mess with my head. I was like, it's not drugs.
Sober life. Or, yeah, don't do drugs. Drugs are bad. They lead
right.
to debauchery. You don't wanna.
Nope.
But Zone Smelling Salt, promo code TIPP. Get a discount.
TIPP.
Just the tip.
Let's see. Then we got Hosswear, hosswear.com. Go to Hosswear and check out all their shirts and hoodies and hats and use promo code TIPP with them also.
And NutraFit. I don't know. I didn't have anything. I want to be great. Yeah. NutraFit, they got a boatload. I almost said shitload, but this is a family podcast.
I'm glad you fixed that.
Yeah. They got a boatload of really good products. Everything I've tried from them has been great. Everything that other people I know have tried, they've all loved it. Killer Supplements, again, directly supports the podcast. If you use code CalebCDay, get you a discount. You won't regret it. It's phenomenal stuff. Support your favorite podcast. If you need that stuff for the gym anyways, might as well help out your boys.
Also, to add to David's point, follow David's dreams. Help support him.
I want to raise miniature horses.
Not that dream.
I mean, what's wrong with miniature horses?
I'm going to start a miniature
You
horse
can't ride
rodeo.
them. I don't want a little horse. I want a big horse.
Well, I mean, yeah.
You
You can ride them. They're just not very happy about it.
He rode an iron horse here. All right, so to gear this back in is so what drives you to keep stepping into the fights? Like, is there a contributing factor, or you just or you like who just fought Jake Paul? I can't remember his name now, from bare knuckle boxing.
Oh,
Betty White.
No, dude, bare knuckle boxing is stupid. I don't agree with that stuff.
Either way,
It's terrible. Terrible for you.
either way, he kept saying he just loves getting punched in the face.
yeah.
That is weird. I do enjoy. I don't know. I have a lot of self-hate, and I think I deserve
Mike Perry.
punishment.
Mike Perry, yeah.
Yeah. So I do enjoy getting hit. I don't know. It's a weird primal man. I want to get hit in the face. I want to hit people. It's
Well, that's kind of like stone lifting. It's kind of like that. It's a kind of a caveman feeling. That I don't know. It's kind of a good.
Yeah, I would agree with that. That's my version of wanting to get punched in the face. Is like that scar on my calf from the Jack stones, or this scar on my other calf from my stones out here. Just
Yeah.
I like them because I earned them.
I check my hands afterwards, like, oh, I got any marks?
I've got a callus, man.
yeah. I just love. I love the fight. I like how it makes me feel. I like. It gives me confidence too. Like just being capable. Obviously, everyone nowadays they have guns, and I have a lot of guns. I'm not guns. They're too absolute. They're too final, and I don't like the idea of taking life because, like Batman says, you're not just killing them; you're killing anything they may become. Mm-hmm. And you look at a lot of people can turn around and get a second chance. But if I have to, if a push comes to shove, I like the confidence and just security it gives me. Like I said, I'd rather be.
You like knowing you can take care of yourself.
I'd rather be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war.
Yeah,
I'm sure you've heard that before. It's nice to know to have it, but be peaceful. Like I know Peterson and other people said, it's a big difference between being peaceful and being harmless.
Yeah.
If you're not capable of violence, you can't be peaceful. You're just harmless. And so being like, I don't hurt people as a virtue. That's not a virtue. You can't hurt people. So you choosing not to hurt people doesn't mean anything because you can't. But if you're capable of great violence and you choose to keep that under control, that's, that means a lot more.
Oh yeah.
I agree.
Well put.
I want to get into these notes.
Yeah,
I've been champing at the bit the whole time.
I've hit on a couple of them. I wrote skinny jeans on here because that's a big pet peeve of mine that people will like make fun of.
I was about to say, if you hate skinny jeans, I gotta go.
Every pant on you is probably tight.
I like a taper jean.
And they're
high
high
Vans. I don't want to.
Technically, they're athletic taper. They're not skinny. I don't like skinny.
Skinny jeans are for, I think, skinny guys. You go to these churches and you see a bunch of fat guys wear skinny jeans. Like, this looks weird, sure. But
I've been a fat guy in skinny jeans.
but to each their own. Whatever makes you happy, don't judge.
But I would love to hear your point, though.
But people are all the time, like I'll see Facebook posts of these like just super fragile masculinity. Like, oh, you guys who wear skinny jeans can't defend their family, or they can't work hard and protect themselves, and they're gay. They're not as masculine.
They're just jealous of all this cake we're walking around with, player.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tag David's dad in this episode. Stop making fun of me and my jeans.
Yeah, they're like, oh, these skinny jeans. All these guys making fun of me for wearing skinny jeans too. I'm like, I would hurt you in a lot of ways. Skinny jeans. It doesn't make you less of a man.
Unless Caleb's
first.
wearing.
Come on, I'll whoop you while wearing skinny jeans.
That's what I'm gonna start saying. Except I'm gonna call my friend Elijah, and he'll whoop you while he's wearing skinny jeans.
I'm not afraid to put a hole in the crotch of these, kicking your ass, buddy.
Hey, nowadays they make those like jegging materials. Like everything's got that flex, Because before jeans were just stiff and you couldn't bend your knees on them.
I'm waiting on Duluth to make some skinny jeans with the fire hose technology in the crotch, like they advertise on YouTube.
That's awesome.
Yeah. That'd be nice.
I can do backflips and like high kicks. I can do all things in skinny jeans, man. Like
skinny jeans and jorts, man.
Wait, you can do a backflip?
In a while, but
Oh, my next question after that was going to be, can you teach me to do a backflip?
100%. I can. It's not about jumping back. It's about jumping straight up.
Well, I'm not good at either. So
you can. I'm sure you can vertical roll. Straight up.
I fall slow. I know that.
Yeah. Well, I see big old. But back to masculinity, you know, everyone's like, oh, to be masculine, you have to, you know, wear overalls or wear bootcut jeans and be, you know, Southern boy and all this stuff. And
I'm not wearing overalls.
There's nothing wrong with overalls. It's just people, their idea of what is masculine. And I wrote down my idea of what is masculine. I don't know if you guys are believers or read the Bible or Christian or anything. But one of my favorite verses is 1 Corinthians 16:13, where it says, you know, be watchful, stand firm in the faith, act like men, be strong. And then it follows it up with, let all that you do be done in love. So act like a man, you know, be strong. What does it mean to be a strong man? Let everything you do be done in love. Like a strong, everyone thinks, oh, to be masculine, I got to be aggressive and mean and, you know, rude with people. I'm like, be kind and love. Like the pure person that comes to mind, obviously Jesus, and then like Aragorn. I'm like, Aragorn, that's like the manliest dude, you know? And he's so humble and selfless and
Stop, I'll cry. I just watched the first Lord of the Rings,
listen,
dude. Oh.
And then
I would
of
have
course,
gone with you to the very fires of Mordor if you asked me to.
let all you do be done in love. So what makes a good masculine strong man? Well, love. And then John 15:13 saying that there's no love greater than this, that a man would lay down his life for his friends. Something like that is right there. So my idea of, you know, masculinity, I want to be kind and selfless and don't just go around belittling people just because like that's like, oh, you wear skinny jeans, so you're not manly.
Well, yeah, and you know, usually the people that are saying that stuff
are real insecure. Like, oh, I wouldn't wear that. I wouldn't.
They're showing their weakness.
Yeah.
You know, they got to hide it behind
fragile masculinity. Yeah. They're like, oh, if I wear this, people are gonna think I'm not masculine. Oh, I can't like that, or they'll think this. You know.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you paint your nails, you're gay. I'm like, well, my daughter painted my nails. You know. So I'm like, which baffles me because my whole life I've been made fun of, or because I wore skinny jeans and I had long hair for the I just buzzed my head like 2 days ago, like hair down to my shoulders. I'm like, but what about me is I mean, I know I'm kind of flamboyant, you know, I'm silly. I'm in touch with my feminine side. I love musicals and I love interior design.
You had me at musicals. Lost me at interior
The Greatest
design.
Showman. Interior design.
Dude, The Greatest Showman. Oh, bro.
Phenomenal.
I've got 2 of those songs on my playlist all the time.
My favorite musicals across the universe. You ever seen that one?
No.
Oh, bro.
I haven't. I'll let you, Jackman. But like I take care of my family. I work hard, and I fight. You know, I mean, I don't know. Everyone's like, you're not masculine at all. I'm like,
you came in here with a sword strapped to your back.
Sword. I mean, what is more masculine than a sword?
And nunchucks.
And nunchucks.
I was about to say, do not forget that he just pulled out nunchucks and did a whole nunchuck kata behind the
super
couches
casual.
over there.
Just
carrying a conversation.
Yeah.
I've never been on a podcast before. What's this like? You guys got a ping pong ball? Unrelated?
Hey, I do want to play ping pong later if you got a ping pong table.
I don't. I really wish.
Oh, man, we need one in the
You got to
studio.
come over to my house.
Where would I put it?
I don't know. We need to add on again.
Oh, yeah? Just finish this. Let's just push it out.
The shed is now a studio annex.
New project. New project.
Yeah, I'm going to move us up to the shed next. Do what you want with that information.
Yeah.
I'm not falling for that again. I'll be damned if I get in that shed with you. It's hot in there.
Yeah, I swore I wouldn't go back.
Now, on the topic of swords, I have this. I got another one on sword. What would you prefer, a katana or a European longsword?
European longsword.
And why?
I don't know that I have a reason.
I want a pointy end.
I always tell people, obviously it doesn't matter about the weapon. It really matters is the warrior holding the weapon. That's what really makes the difference. But I feel like if you have two equally, obviously the greatest weapon in history is a polearm, a spear. That'd be my weapon of choice, or how, you know, some kind of a glaive,
yeah,
like a sword on a stick, on a really spear,
big halberd.
Yeah, like you can't touch me. Greatest weapon ever. But if you have two warriors of equal skill, one with a European longsword, one with, you know, a traditional like hand and a half, and one with a katana, I'm like, the longsword's longer. It's got double-sided, you know, blades, and they're both equally like it's fast. I mean, I was like, oh, the katana's faster. I'm like, well, a European longsword, they're really quick and light.
Yep.
Do you ever watch Matt Easton? He has a YouTube channel. He's a HEMA guy, the historic European martial arts or whatever.
Yeah, I see him on TikTok sometimes.
Yeah, and
I've seen him.
He's constantly like answering these questions about, like, you know, different swords, a long sword versus a broadsword versus a short sword versus whatever. And he was like, really? He's like, if I could take a sword, if I'm gonna have to sword fight, he was saying the theoretical thing was, it was like a tournament, and there's sword fight. You know, you can pick your sword. You don't know what your opponent is going to have, but it's going to be a sword of some type.
Yeah.
So it's just swords, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was like,
say, if you pick a sword and dude shows up with a halberd, like,
he's going, I'm going with a
lightsaber.
rapier. He's like, I'm going with a rapier. He goes, I've got the most reach out of rapier, you know, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, you know, I mean, I don't know. But he was talking about, like, he does a lot of cutting tests and stuff, you know, and people think, well, a katana can cut through whatever. And he was like, well, they can cut well. He's like, but so can a longsword. Mm-hmm. You know, a lot of it is just the user, you know?
yeah.
But I don't know. I think you'd like Matt Easton.
Yeah. I need to look
a lot of
at
his
that.
videos.
So what are you picking then?
A European longsword.
Okay.
All the way. I'm a medieval fantasy
Same.
geek anyway. Lord of the Rings, you know, fairy tales type stuff.
Why do you think this is the Iron Palace podcast?
Yeah, I think it's great.
That's why we sit in
katanas
thrones.
are cool. I have a katana at home, but I prefer my.
I have a bunch of them. I've collected swords since I was a kid.
These are his.
Yeah.
And of course, you get the argument like, who wins, samurai or a European knight? Well, that would never happen. But
No.
the katanas are made for, you know, for without armor.
Yeah.
Cutting. Where the longsword, people have armor, so they point, you know, the weak spots. So you put a katana up against a guy in full plate armor. I don't know how well it's going to play out.
Yeah. I mean, they don't have the tip.
Yeah,
They don't have the pointy tip.
Yeah, so a lot
get
of
in
times the
between
blade too isn't even
Right.
sharp down here.
Yeah.
It's just sharp in the end because, like, you stab someone, they're dead. You stab them here, they're not getting any more dead.
Yeah.
So you don't. So a lot of times you see them sword fight with their hand on the blade. They have more control and can pinpoint. And
What's that called, Holland? It's got a name.
Yeah.
Half
half
something.
swording.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I knew that.
I have sword every night. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey.
Oh, just kidding. That's what I got a wife for.
I whole sword because it's
Oh,
So what sword are y'all picking?
the West is the best, dude. Give me the European sword, dog.
Really?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Says
The
the one that-
katana's the much more, you know, the more ancient, much older.
they're cool. They're really neat,
lot of
but I
history,
still
a lot
like
of
if
cool
I'm.
history.
I just think
Yeah.
it's cool. I just like the these
Yeah.
knights and all that crap.
No, I
Like if
agree.
I'm getting for myself, like nah, give me the one that looks cool. I don't care.
You know, another
That's
thing.
like I would pick a Scottish claymore, even though I
Oh,
know it's the
yeah.
most impractical.
so impractical. I'm like,
Yeah, there's no reason to choose that sword, but everything in me
to
will
my
pick it.
grave, nobody could tell me shit. You could still beat my ass, but
Yeah.
I'd be talking shit the whole way down.
Dude, 90% of the time, Scottish claymore, any other weapon, I'm picking the claymore.
Dude, I'm painting my face blue, the whole nine.
Absolutely. I will memorize the
Take my
entire
life.
speech.
This is your army. Then where do they go? Where are you going? Going to pick a flight. Such a good movie.
Dude, my favorite quote that I say all the time, unsolicited, is the beginning part where he beats him in the stone throw. He says, I should have remembered that oak.
Should have remembered the
Like,
rock.
you should have.
Yeah.
Hey, you should have.
I like the. Here's my terms. Tell Longshanks he has my unconditional surrender when he bends over and kisses it on yours.
my favorite part of that movie is when they moon everyone. With
Yeah.
like, yeah, let me see that booty.
Yep.
but then, like,
I'm kidding.
some of the guys don't get turned around quick enough, and they catch arrows in the butt. And I'm like, man,
What a way to die.
I'd hate to be the guy that was like still mooning, like all going all crazy, and be like, why's everybody else grabbing their shield?
Dude, you know 100% that's Dave over there
heart
going,
shot.
guys, look, I still got him. They're still looking at it. Perverts.
Then you got to fight the rest of the battle with a tail. Really stiff tail.
I think my favorite is when they're taking the arrow out of the old dude. And
Yeah.
they're like, here, you hold it. Or I'll hold him and you do it. And then they ended up like 8 people trying to hold him.
Then he stands up, goes through everyone, and punches
Yeah.
his son.
And then he's like, I'll wake you in the morning, boys.
Now,
Amazing movie.
Yeah, that
we go-
guy's so tough.
if we go full gladiator, like you're in a gladiator arena, you got to pick your weapon of choice. I'm picking trident and fishnet. 100%.
Really?
100%. Because a trident is just a 3-headed spear.
Can I pick a bear?
And a fishnet. Have you ever? I play with my kids a lot. They run around. I get the blanket and I kind of throw it over top of them. You ever get a really heavy weighted blanket thrown on top of you? It's hard to move.
I got
a big old net.
Net being
So if someone's running at me, I throw a big old net. They could try to dodge it. They're getting tangled up, and I'm just stabbing them.
Yeah, I can't argue. I don't think I would pick that just
the
because.
Best weapon.
I agree that it's probably the best weapon, but again,
It's a spear.
I'm probably going to pick the most impractical
I would pick pocket sand and a rape whistle.
because I'm going to pick. I'd probably go into
Get me
that.
out of here.
I'll pick a flail.
I'd probably go into it thinking I'm probably going to die out here.
Well, see, what you
I'm
got
going
to
to die
do
with the
is
best weapon.
what you got to do is just trying to like fly under the radar while everyone else kills themselves, and then you wait to the last one standing. Like, all right, I'm gonna get you.
It's like Fortnite.
Yeah,
I do
let's
the
say
same
every
thing.
battle royale game I've ever played, I play hide and seek for the first like 98 people.
Like Hunger Games happens, you gotta hide.
Oh, dude, I'm PETA all day. I look like a rock for 3
No,
days.
see, I'm an idiot, and I'd run in there, guns blazing into the cornucopia. Like, this is mine. Come fight me.
I could hide until I got bored, which wouldn't take very long.
Exactly what I would do.
Or he'd be hiding, and his foot would be shaking to give it away.
Yeah, I'd be jiggling my knee.
Again, back to masculinity, like laying your life down. I don't want to go around and kill a bunch of children in the Hunger Games. I'm not going to kill you. The government's making us kill each other. This is stupid. Yeah.
I'd be hiding against a tree, and somebody goes, "Are these hardwoods?" Like, busted.
That's what she said. I don't know. You tell me.
What is hard?
Dude, this rock is so hard.
That's what your mom thought.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's how Dave would go out in Hunger Games.
Oh, 110%. No matter how I go out in life, I'm going out and talking my shit.
Nice.
Holland, you never said what sword you'd pick.
The one he brings every day.
Hey,
The love
Short
sword.
sword.
He's a grower, not a shower.
Aren't we all?
I don't know. So, I mean, I can pick any sword, or is it just between
Except for that one.
long
He's got
sword and
Well,
katana?
you never answered either one of the questions, so I guess technically you could answer both.
Yeah,
'Cause I would
the
go-
first one is long sword or katana.
Yeah, I go long sword.
You can stay in the podcast.
I mean,
We're not weebs.
yeah.
But I'd
Which
go
is cool.
rapier.
Yeah,
There's nothing wrong with that.
I'm going to have you on just for our PC announcements.
I try to like politically correct. Come on. I mean, I'm not politically correct, but
I'm gonna take an axe.
axe, of course. You
I
look
seen
like
it
a-
coming.
You look very dwarfish. I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah,
I was Gimli last Halloween.
That is amazing.
he didn't dress up at all.
I just carried around an axe.
He looked at me and said, "Toss me." I said, "It's not the same, Holland." It's not.
Don't tell the elf. I'm the elf. Not the beard.
Probably the best part of the whole series. He just toss me.
I really like when they're,
Well, because if you remember in the Fellowship of the Ring, he's like, nobody tosses a dwarf.
Yep.
And he jumps and he's like, not the beard.
I like in the Fellowship when they're trying to sneak through Galadriel's woods and he's talking about how quiet he is.
Yeah,
They could have shot the dwarf in the back. He's pretty, pretty so heavily.
he's the first one with.
My ear is as keen as a hawk. You know?
Eyes like a fox.
Yeah.
Now I got to watch him. I actually just got my wife to watch the 3 Hobbits because I knew to get her into Lord of the Rings, got to get her to watch The Hobbit first, and it worked. She's totally hooked.
Hobbits.
I was so disappointed in The Hobbit because I was expecting.
Lord of the Rings, the greatest movies I've ever made of all time. I genuinely, there's not been a movie that's been made since then that has the same care and dedication put into it. Have you seen, like, behind the scenes? Edoras was built. It took, like, months to build Edoras in New Zealand in some national park, and they had to take pictures because, you know, national park. They had to redo the land back the way it was, so they carried all the grass out. Well, they built Edoras. And they filmed for, like, 6 or 7 days. After building a set for months, they filmed for a couple of days, and they tore it all down. And they weren't cutting any corners like, oh, let's maximize profit, and let's just CGI everything. No, he's like, let's
Peter
everything.
Jackson cared so much.
He cared so much about that
shows.
project, and it shows.
All
Even
of them
to
did.
this day.
I think what's her name that played Galadriel? She did it just to like keep her elf ears. I think
Yeah.
she did it for
Kate
pretty much
Blanchett.
free. Yeah.
Did
She's like, keep the elf ears. I'll do it.
She got paid a lot of money for
Oh
it.
yeah.
Did she? I thought she did it the first, or I thought she did it pretty cheap. As
The,
like a
the
favor.
person with the lowest paycheck out of the main cast was Orlando Bloom.
Really?
He got paid $175 I think, for the movies.
I guess he kind of blew up after.
But yeah, he was just fresh out of like acting school.
Yeah.
And that landed him the role of Will Turner in Pirates of the Caribbean. And
Also,
that worked
baller.
out.
Great
That worked
Baller.
out pretty well for
the first
him.
3.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Will
Take a
and
little
Elizabeth are the main characters, not
absolutely.
Jack Sparrow.
Yeah.
I love Jack Sparrow. Everyone loves Jack Sparrow.
He's the brevity.
He's the side character.
Yeah.
Yep.
You take Will and Elizabeth out, and then you just put Jack Sparrow as the main character. Now it's just super.
Well, now you don't even have Jack Sparrow. You have whoever.
It's
terrible. No,
too goofball.
The fourth one was okay, but
I don't even know if I watched the fourth one. I did, and I didn't like it. That's why I don't remember if I watched it.
But the first 3 were top tier. But Lord of the Rings, greatest movies ever made.
So, did you read the books?
I am now. I just finished The Two Towers, and I'm on Return of the King.
I'm halfway through the Two Towers right now. So, my question about it is because I found a lot of people are fans of Tom Bombadil.
No.
Thank you.
Sorry. Like, I can't stand.
Okay.
I mean, he's a
was
cool
cool.
character.
Yeah, he's cool.
But
He
in the
did-
movies, let me my
did nothing.
colorful boots. Let me sing and dance and sing and dance.
Tom Bombadil, it was just like I almost feel like there was an actual person named Tom Bombadil, and he got a hold of Tolkien's notes and wrote himself in.
Like I
And
haven't.
Tolkien was like, "Yeah, I'll let it ride."
I feel like Tom Bombadil goes in with like The Hobbit. You know, those real
Yeah.
whimsical,
Yeah.
more childish, silly, bouncing around. But the Lord of the Rings had more of that serious
Tom
weight.
Bombadil does not progress
Oh,
the story.
yeah.
any,
when,
though.
when you're working
You
in
know?
the time
But
constraints of
also,
a film, you cut Tom Bombadil.
Yeah, in a book, of course, you can add as much as
yeah.
you want.
Yeah.
But in a movie, you have to really condense it.
Yeah, you can add 3 chapters of talking about how the grass looked, but you can't do that in the movie.
And they had to spend so much time just showing the journey to begin with. Like there's so much of them
And
just
that's
traveling.
why The Lord of the Rings was so much better than The Hobbit, because The Lord of the Rings had so much to condense and to make. They had to condense it down to make the movies. Where The Hobbit, they took one book and they tried to stretch it out over 3 movies, and they just added a bunch of filler and a lot of garbage that didn't
Like
need to be in there.
The first one, nothing happened. You met the characters.
The
and
Hobbit
that's
should have been
literally
a one movie, one and done. It could
Well,
have been good.
the original cartoon was a 1 movie thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But and now I hear rumors of like the new Lord of the Rings, The Hunt for Gollum. I'm like,
Oh, I just
don't
heard about
know
that.
Why?
What do you mean the Hunt for Gollum? We saw it.
I mean, I know that's a lot of stuff in the books. I mean, I just feel like it's unnecessary.
Again, like you said about Jack Sparrow, Gollum is a cool character, not a main character.
Yeah.
I don't need to know more in depth about him. I feel like I know everything I need to know.
Yeah.
He's a plot device.
But yeah, I've been seeing a lot of people, especially I guess now in the Rings of Power. I've not watched it.
Don't watch that. That's
Not very good.
I've not watched it, but I've heard that he just made his appearance in the show, and everyone's like, "Oh, they finally put my favorite character." I was like, "Why is he your favorite?"
People that like Rings of Power don't truly respect or love Tolkien or his works or anything. Those are the same people that say they like Star Wars and love Kathleen Kennedy's Star Wars, like the new Disney Star Wars.
They're
Like,
so bad.
those are great movies. I'm like, you do not love or respect Star Wars lore if you think that these sequel movies are decent. They're trash. And they even said they don't care about the canon, the lore, or anything prior. They're going to do what they want to do. It's a cash grab. They bought the name, so then they can, hey, let's use this name that's popular, run it for every last penny we can, and then just throw it in the dirt. And they're trashing it. Somehow Palpatine returned. I'm like, all right, thanks for nullifying Vader's sacrifice and turning to the light side. And they had to take a fat dump all over Star Wars. And then like the Acolyte, they got lesbian space witches and all this.
Which are the only kind of space witches I like.
Hey, I got one more or comparison here. This is very crucial. You have to answer correctly. I'm gonna really judge how you the type
Fair
of
enough.
people. you
I
are.
have one of those questions left too.
So there's two types of people. Who do you think is gonna win in a fight? A silverback gorilla or a grizzly bear?
Grizzly bear.
Grizzly bear.
Grizzly bear, yeah. They're a lot bigger.
Okay, so thank God, because so many people are like, "Oh, dude, the silverback gorilla." I'm like, gorilla's gonna get. That's as dumb as saying King Kong can beat a nuclear fire breathing dragon. There's no way King Kong can beat Godzilla.
No, yeah.
And people don't realize, like, gorillas are not aggressive creatures. They're family. They're vegetarian. They're
Yeah.
docile.
He's
They're not
right
aggressive.
there.
A grizzly bear is like the most aggressive land animal there is.
Yeah.
A large silverback gorilla could be like 400 pounds. It's a big creature.
Oh yeah.
A grizzly bear is like 1,100 pounds.
Yeah.
The thing is twice the size. It's got 6-inch killer, like disemboweling claws on its hand. Have you ever? I'm just saying, you could shoot a grizzly quite a few times and they'll just keep coming at you. You shoot a gorilla once, Harambe, they die.
Whoa, R.I.P.
Gorillas do a lot of display and like a lot of wrestling. A grizzly bear just like
I hear.
And the thing is, like, you've seen gorillas fight. It's like
It's like
big,
seconds and then it's done. Like,
and it's a bunch of like slap fighting.
it's like posturing for position.
which now, no doubt, it would break my neck.
100%. Yeah, they could crush us.
But a grizzly's going to be like, what are you
Now,
doing? And then
grizzly and gorilla, they both have very similar bite power, clamping power. So I'm like, well, the gorilla's got big teeth. Everyone's argument is the gorilla would just choke the bear out. I'm like, the bears don't have a neck. They are solid, just fur, blubber,
and
muscle.
people are
Why would the
thinking
gorilla
that the gorilla
choke
has
The
like,
gorilla can't choke. They don't. I mean, even if you taught a gorilla jujitsu,
that's what I'm saying. There's
you
people
can't
think
choke
that they
the
have
bear.
human strategy.
They're pretty
Yeah.
smart.
You know, like-
that one cried when Robin Williams died. You saw the video.
and I love gorillas. I think they're awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, they're great, but there's no way in heck.
We love our gorilla too.
Thanks.
I see you more as a grizzly bear. I
appreciate
got you.
that.
Yeah. Gorillas are beta, alpha, grizzly. Just saying, they're vegetarian. That says all that you need to know about them. Right there.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna start dyeing my body hair brown so I don't get confused for a beta ass gorilla.
All right, well, here's our question that we ask everyone that will determine if we invite you back or not.
Okay.
Who is your favorite wrestler of all time?
Okay, you guys aren't gonna like me. You talking like WWE?
Oh yeah,
wrestling?
absolutely.
See, I wasn't a closeted growing up, so I didn't watch WWE.
Whoa, we were all closeted here, buddy.
Listen.
Wait, you weren't? Get out.
Yeah.
No,
You didn't have that, uncle?
no, that was my cousin. I know you've been talking about your cousin a lot tonight. I'm kind of the
Hey, he's handsome. Would. Tyler, I know you're not watching, but I would. Just kidding. I'll do gay stuff or incest,
No,
but not
see,
both.
I'm just kidding. I know you're watching.
I've got morals.
and I hate to come off as homophobic and
Your
whatnot,
most mom.
but I've had friends watch WWE and all this stuff, and a bunch of dudes oiled up in leather speedos, thigh-high boots, baby oil, greasy hair, fake fighting each other, like blatantly, like obvious fake fighting. And everyone's like, "Oh, I thought
It's
it was
not
real.
fake.
I thought it was real."
It is real.
I'm like, this. I never saw the appeal. I'm like, this is the most sus thing I've ever seen in my life. It's gay porn.
In the late 90s, early 2000s, though, it was probably the funniest thing on TV.
I agree.
I mean, yeah, watching it now, I'm like, this is hilarious
Yeah.
to watch. But I've always been like, I want to see two dudes like legit fight each other, lock them in a cage, someone put someone to sleep, knock them out, break their arms.
None of us are current fans. We just liked it
That's actually
as
true,
kids that thought it was like now it's hilarious. Like the
I
Stone
wanna-
Cold and the Rock.
Really,
kinda
the
crap.
answer we look for is not a specific person.
I
It's
think-
what genre.
The greatest, the top three greatest of all time: Hulk Hogan,
Okay.
Stone Cold Steve Austin,
What?
Dwayne the Rock Johnson, and Ric Flair. That guy.
See, that's what we look for. Is
Yeah.
more what time period are you picking your
I
favorites
say that. I'm quoting Clayton King.
And Macho Man Randy Savage.
There was a guest speaker at church this past Sunday, Clayton King, and he's a big wrestling fan. And those are his top Hall of Fame wrestlers right there. So
Stone
the reason
Cold's
I
on
know
my
their
Mount
names.
Rushmore. Of like anything. Just
The
anything.
Rushmore, yeah. No.
Stone Cold's up there. Like, who's your favorite whatever? Stone Cold.
What's
Dale
your top
Earnhart.
three favorite
I'd
sandwiches?
say
Stone
my favorite
Cold.
wrestler is Jacob, and he wrestled with God. So
Oh, well, yeah.
there you go.
I'm not gonna. As soon as you said Jacob, I was like, I don't know Jacob.
You mean Jake? He don't fight anybody.
Hey, no, Logan Paul is my favorite wrestler right there.
Okay.
Them yellow pants.
If we get someone on here that seriously answers with that,
Get
that's
out of
it.
here.
Yeah, that's it.
Or Nacho Libre would be another one up there.
Sometimes wear the stretchy pants.
It's for fun.
It's for the orphans.
Give me a piece of that corn.
I want to see what it tastes like. Get that corn out of my face.
Give me a piece of that corn.
It's a great movie.
Yep, fantastic.
I'm gonna go home and watch that right now.
We're
going
gonna
with
watch. I'm gonna watch Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings, greatest movies of all time, and I will finish with this.
I'm gonna die on this hill.
It's the greatest
Lord of
movies
the
of all
Rings
time,
is
and
great.
it bums me out that more people don't get my references all the time. But like Samwise Gamgee,
Okay.
Mount
Ear
Doom,
must. I don't need Dave crying right
I'll get
now.
emotional.
Mount Doom. One of the greatest things ever. It's Frodo's. I can't make it. He's falling over dead and just I can't make it top. And he's like, I can't carry it for you, Mr. Frodo, but I can carry you. And he throws him up, and I'm like, that that Jesus Christ-like love right there, the whole lay your life down for someone else.
Right there is the manliest.
That's the manliest thing, right? The manliest thing.
Yeah.
He does it repeatedly too, like in the Fellowship.
Yeah.
Where are you going?
And what drives
I'm
me
going
nuts-
alone. Of course you are, and I'm going with you.
And I'm going with you.
Yeah.
Everyone is all like super, it's so, Frodo and Sam are gay for each other. It's so like just gay. I don't like, they're too intimate with each other. Like, that's brotherly love. I mean, I don't know if you read the Bible. I know I try. We're all sinners, and I mess up a lot, and I say a lot of terrible things. But ultimately, I want to live a life that glorifies Christ. And the Bible is all about bros. It's love. Like love your neighbor as yourself. And Lord of the Rings is bros being bros, helping bros, like loving each other. And I love it, that brotherly love. And it's nothing homo or about it at all.
It overlaps too if you look into
True
it, because
masculine,
Tolkien was super devout. Like
that's why I love Lord of the Rings. I'll bring it up at church a lot, and everyone's like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, how can you be a Christian and not like Lord of the Rings? The greatest movies ever.
Because it's Christian based. A lot of it is around it. So,
and a lot of people try to no. I'm like, well, yeah, it's a lot of you can't see the comparisons and the similarities of a lot of the things there. And like for Sam, saying I can't carry it for you, but I can carry you. It's phenomenal. And Aragorn, he's my favorite movie character of all time, right there.
I don't know, Gimli.
Gimli's great. Dude, Gimli and Legolas, reading the books, I really enjoy watching their friendship like blossom. And they want to go back to the mines of Helm's Deep there. Like Gimli's like, I want to come back and explore this, but with you. I'm not going to go here until you come with me. And then even whenever Legolas sails to the Grey Havens, he takes Gimli with him. Yeah, that's amazing right there. 'Cause the feud between the dwarves and elves are so big, and then seeing that friendship there is awesome.
Never trust an elf.
Never trust an elf. It's like I never thought I'd die, side by side with an elf. What about side by side with a friend? Yeah, I can do that. It's so great.
Where I'm thinking is like, let's just not die.
Let's just not die.
What if we get out of this as friends?
That's okay, cool. You guys go first.
But again,
that's like when Aragorn is arguing with Legolas, and they're talking.
Then I said, die is one of them.
Yeah, and then he busts out in English, and now
and everyone's like,
what? Die?
Crap, we're going to die?
You said we had a chance.
They outnumber us, But the movie got that wrong. They had the elves and how Haldir show up. That never happened. In the books, it was actually the Ents. Yeah. The trees. Yeah, they're like, the battlefield changed overnight. Why are there a bunch of trees out here and just fog and Ents? Because they hate the orcs, man.
The Ents. The Ents are a joke, yeah.
Well, awesome, dude. Those are old. Which was the voice of Gimli. John Rhys Davies was Treebeard.
I love whenever they asked him what his name was, and he said, it's too long to tell you.
So, it's like saying anything in English takes a really long time to say. So we don't say anything unless it's worth taking a long time to say. That's how I feel with my flip phone. It takes forever to text things. So I don't text all that often, which is great. I mean, I encourage more people to do flip phones, of course, because everyone nowadays everyone's obsessed with technology and just pleasure. And I'm not going to hate anyone for doing it. To each their own, but
you're slowly hiding your phone.
I just, I was driving to the park with my kids, and everyone I looked at driving on their phones. I got to the park, everyone with their kids playing around, staring at their phones. Like no one's like in life anymore. I'm just going to watch other people's lives. Like get off your phone.
Or they're living it to show other people. It's like, and you miss it. Like nothing bugs me more than people with like phones in like at a concert. Like I got to go see Kings of Leon record for Jimmy Kimmel. It was free and it was like a really small place. And the girl beside me, I left my phone in the car. Girl beside me was on her phone the whole time, recorded the whole thing, and they played like 4 or 5 songs. Like it was a free show. And then they leave and she goes, "That's it?" Like, what do you mean that's it? We had 2 totally. I thought it was incredible. Yeah. You were on your phone the whole time. You missed it. Like you were so worried about showing other people that you didn't enjoy it.
And I know I'm not as old as some people, but I still remember my childhood being. Like, we didn't have cell phones, or if I wanted to hang out with my friends, I'd have to ride my bike down to his house, knock on the door, "Hey, can Cody come out and play?" Talk to his mom, or call their home phone. Like, but nowadays, kids aren't outside riding their bikes, hanging out. They're all on TikTok and all social media or games. And let me Snapchat my boyfriend. Snapchat is of the devil. The whole purpose of Snapchat is just for sending nudes. Just saying this. If your kids got Snapchat, or if your kids have smartphones, if you love your children, you got to protect their innocence. Don't give them phones. I'm a big believer in like, if my kids want a phone, when you get a job, at 15 or 16, I'll get you a phone. But Until then, there's no point of view to. This is too much access there. You don't need like a bunch of grown married men addicted to porn, or women talking to all these guys on their Instagrams, or, oh wow, you look so beautiful. It's just, that's why marriages are all falling apart. That's why families are falling apart. Because I just feel like people need to focus more on life.
It's by design too. Like these major corporations aren't
they know
doing
what they're
stuff
doing
for the
They're
good of you.
100%.
Like,
It's all about pleasure. You just want to numb your mind and just pleasure, and they forget, so you don't see what's truly going on.
we're all Pavlov's dogs.
Yeah, that's why with like Highland Games for a long time, I recorded like every throw, the entire day. I took 1,000 pictures throughout the day. But like as of the last couple of years, every competition, my phone stays in my box. I really don't even. I take no pictures. Usually after it's over, I hate myself for it because now I have. I didn't record my best throw.
I got a wife and she'll take pictures.
And thank God my wife does that too. Otherwise, I would have nothing for the entire day. Yeah. But I found that to be a lot better because now, like, I'm competing with 9 other people that now I can go talk to rather than, hey, can you hit record for me? And that's the only thing I say to them all day. Yeah. And then I'm over there looking at my stuff.
Like, we have so much more things for social, just outreaching, but we've become a far less social, society because of it. Like, no one's talking face to face anymore. They're all. And like Mike Tyson said, the internet's made people too comfortable with being disrespectful.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Everyone, all this, the keyboard warriors, I'm going to beat you up. Like, come on now.
Yeah.
Say it to my face. But again, back to, what being masculine is, like, trying to, like, puff up your chest and fight people all the time is immature.
Yep.
Like, just because you can beat someone up doesn't mean you should. Like, the number one defense is your feet. Walk away. Yeah. Someone calls you, you're a big sissy, you're weak, you're afraid of me. And then your ego gets hurt. Oh, I got to fight this guy because he said that. Screw your pride, screw your ego. Just walk away.
Yeah, that's a guy I used to work with, Jordan. He used to always say, he said, man, fighting was whenever I was younger. He said, now, I think he was telling me about how some guy tried to make him fight him in over traffic or something stupid.
Road rage, man.
And he said, man, I've got about 5 minutes of fight left in me. I'm going to save it for protecting my family or something important.
That's the thing. The fighting is only worth it if you are protecting your loved ones.
Yep.
If you're just fighting to fight, like, coming from me, I used to like do a lot of street fighting before I joined a gym and started actually fighting. I would go to like the Hot Night Joe or places, bar I shouldn't be at, looking just for troublemakers. So like beating on their girlfriends or just being punks. And then I wouldn't start fights, but I'd make them want to start a fight with me. So I could beat them up.
Reverse psychology. I like it.
So I'd walk switcheroo. Up. It's so easy. A bunch of these super fragile masculinity, insecure dudes, you can just say anything to get them all.
See, my goal to avoid fights was whenever people try to fight me, I just make them confused on why they're trying to fight me.
Anyone wants to try to fight you.
You would be surprised. Well, it's like I tell people always say that. And they're like, you look very intimidating. I'm like, I'm very intimidating until you know me. Because then you find out I don't know how to fight, and I'm a big teddy bear.
Well, it's like my sister's kids are like, I'll be saying something about Caleb, like, you mean the big teddy bear guy? I'm like, yeah, that's Caleb.
Well, it's like my younger brother, he got out of the Marine Corps, and he was a gentle soul. Like, we played sports. I played sports growing up, and he would just sit there on the sidelines and play with like butterflies and ladybugs. Like, he was just like the flower child, happy-go-lucky. But he wanted to get real jacked and buff so people would not want to fight him. They'd be like, oh, avoid that guy. He's intimidating. But of course, me, I'm the scrawny little twig of the family. And everyone's all the time trying to fight me. Like, oh, you're so skinny, I could beat you up. And I'm always trying to prove myself. And or everyone sees him like, oh, don't mess with that guy. He'll beat me up. And they just don't know what they're talking about because you never know. And I see like chubby, fat dudes who don't look athletic at all, like or Daniel Cormier looking. This dudes who are insane athletes and could beat people's butts.
It's like when Logan Paul was trying to start beef with Daniel Cormier and he kept calling him fat. I was like, bro,
he'll beat you up.
Like, are you kidding me?
DC would maul.
Yeah. I mean, really, about the only guy that had Daniel Cormier's ticket was John Jones. Yeah. I mean, that's about any other time I'm betting DC. Just about,
Agreed.
I like DC.
Yeah. All right. Anyone got anything else to add before we wrap this up?
Thanks for coming, man. It was nice meeting you.
Yeah, this is a lot more fun. I knew it would be fun.
This is way better than I thought.
But it's even more fun.
It's like, honestly, I thought this was going to suck.
Holland said you guys were terrible.
I think you guys should get like a fifth chair and just make me a regular over here. Let me just be here every time.
I would, but I only got 4 mics.
Yeah. Well, don't be such a cheap wad and buy another mic. I'll donate.
If you only knew.
Buy zone smelling salts, Nutrifin,
and Hossware.
If Holland's OnlyFans will pick up, or if he starts forging weapons, start selling them Etsy, man. You ever do that? You ever sell?
Oh yeah, yeah.
You don't forge anything. It's all authentic.
It's all made in China.
Mine's probably made in China.
This one's made, I think, in like Iraq.
Yeah, that's. I gave it back to Justin because I thought I accidentally walked into a jihad when I was holding
China.
All right. Well, thanks for coming out, man. This has been. I mean, I didn't even notice that right now we're at an hour and 40 minutes.
Yeah,
Like,
my bad.
and I'm going to go ahead and tell you, we touched none of my notes on here because
I talk too much. I know.
No,
because
we did.
Those
take-
are just a safety net.
The
I try not
notes,
to use
their
them.
notes, the notes are there in case the
So,
conversation dies.
yeah.
yeah, the notes are here so I can fall back on something so we don't have 10 minutes of silence.
Yeah, I hate that. What time is it?
It is 6:55.
Oh, that's not bad. I told my wife I had to be home by 8. Or if I'm not home by 8, then she needs to, like, call the cops.
Send a search party.
Because, yeah. Well,
They said I'm in this guy's garage.
Sounds like we're about to be in a game of hide and seek,
Well,
boys.
she's afraid I got, like, hit on my motorcycle. And if I expect you home at this point. If not, then...
You're just trying to make us feel better.
Like, listen, the only one I know is Holland, and he's a little sus.
They said there's going to be cameras. We're in the garage and there's lots of lighting. I don't know what's
I walked in there expecting to see a casting couch or something.
It's over there. And everybody stuff. That's what me and Holland used to sit on. We could tell you by experience that couch is magic. Couch pulls out. We don't.
So anyways, we really appreciate you coming on, man. This has been a lot of fun. Hopefully it wasn't too bad.
No, it's awesome.
Anybody else got anything else to add?
I'm good.
Do you have social media or anything to plug?
Yeah, I have I don't use it often, but I have it for promoting my fights and whatnot.
Yep.
I have my Facebook is Elijah Lee Gilbertson. You can always look me up there. And I have an Instagram, which I believe is Enigma_KMAA, something like that. Not quite sure. I've not been on Instagram in a long time, but it's there if you want to look it up.
Word.
Yeah.
All right. Everybody, thanks for coming. Remember, like, comment, subscribe, follow so you don't miss the next one. And if you like it enough, we'll have Elijah back on. So
Share and tell your friends.
Don't miss
I'd like
that.
to be back.
All right, everybody. The quote of the day is, "The first and greatest victory is to conquer self." Plato.